My son walks around singing MP Bros, MP Bros. It's really cute. But just for the recording purposes, guys, we got Quinton Potts that's going to be sharing with us live today. And what's cool about it is that Quinton's only a couple of months in. So we were talking just now amongst the team, amongst the group, and the most important part and the thing that we all look to do, most importantly, it's make money. And we want to make money in the long run, but we want to make money now. We want to make money starting the moment I make my first phone call, the moment I set my first dial appointment. I want to come in and I want to be hot. I want to be on fire. So that's why I believe it's so important to be able to grab the coal while it's red, right? And bring on the people that are coming on and having some success. So, with that being said, Quinton, brother, great to have you here. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Go ahead and give us a little background on you if you would. I know that I know that you have also come from a previous IMO, but people just
Yeah.
want to learn you a little bit because like Grayson said, man, this is the first time he sees your face, dude. Where are you from? Where are you living? How long have you been doing this? Just give us a little background on who Quinton is.
Yeah, so long story short, I grew up in Pennsylvania. I'm still here myself. I went to the military early on. I did that for a little while, got out, had a family, went to Oregon, came back here. Mainly worked construction jobs. From the military, I was HVAC trained, so I was basically in that field. I ended up getting a license through someone who actually, I'm not going to mention the old IMO I'm at for specific reasons, but yeah, he started doing jujitsu there, and he pulled one of the people I actually did rolls with. He was telling me about it, and I was like, you know what, I'll get a license. If it doesn't work, I don't like it. Whatever. I try things. I actually didn't like the last IMO. It was an awful experience. A lot of promises that weren't kept. I was there probably maybe a little over a month. Made like no money.
So you've only been licensed for like 4 months then.
I've been licensed for longer, but after I left IMO, I went back into construction until I found this place. And I
Oh,
literally ran
sweet.
across this off of Chad was on Facebook, and he told me about it. And honestly, just because my last IMO, I was like, he's probably just selling me a bunch of smoke. You know,
That's cool. That's awesome. And that's just like that's the recipe, right, guys? We all talk about social media and blasting and putting things out there, but Quinton, who's now in here, who in month number two has sold about $30,000, he came because he had a conversation through Facebook from somebody else, from Chad. So like you're on Facebook more likely, and like you're probably like sitting there watching what your grandma's doing or what your cousins are posting. Dude, reach out and talk to people, right? There's nothing better than the hot market. So you were only in insurance for like 1 month at the previous IMO, and only because I know my industry so well and I know jiu-jitsu a little bit. Not that I'm trying to roll with you because you probably kicked my butt, but I think I know what IMO that came from, but it doesn't matter. Let's
yeah.
um let's talk about that one time that month that you were there. You said you didn't sell any policies?
I sold a few, but the company does not run like how we do, build each other up. They're more of like let the top tear each other down, and then let the bottom guys fight for sales.
That's
So
crazy.
you kind of come in like fish in a tank. If you make it, you stay around. If you don't, it ain't for you kind of deal. The leads are awful. You can call 200 people in a day, double dialing, and maybe get 3 appointments.
Yeah. But you're seeing the success here, right? And you're seeing the changes. But what I wanted to bring up is a lot of people get caught up in saying, like, I need to know the products, I need to know what I'm doing, I need to go. Quinton may have had some experience, like he sold some life insurance, but it's not like he sold a lot of life insurance. It's not like he had the experience with all the carriers that we offer and how to do all the applications and how to sell each product. But my man is just selling. You know who that reminds me of, right? The one and only Mr. MP Bro himself, Michael Warren. She said, "Hey, dude, he doesn't know insurance, but he knows people and he knows how to sell, and he just follows the system." And that's what you're doing, bro. And I love that we're doing this now because I personally thought you had so much more experience than before. I'm like, my boy's coming in here so hot because he had success somewhere else and he just needed to find a new home. So love that, man. I think that's going to be a little motivation. That's going to be a little spark for anyone that's watching this. And so beyond that, you talked about something that's really important that I want to point out to everybody. You said at your previous IMO, it was like a little bit of a tussle, right? But
Yep.
here, we all swim together, bro. What is it that you're liking about how we do things here as far as the support and how we build each other up?
I mean, everything about this thing, it's a system, it's a team. The guys above me, the guys below me, the guys beside me, guys that aren't even have any, my success doesn't even really help them out. Everyone helps me out here. I ask a million questions, I get a million answers. I don't get attitudes. And I mean, if I don't implement what they're telling me, they're not going to help me. But as long as you're actually listening and following through with what they're saying, everyone's here to help you. If I ever have a question, I still have questions every day. And I always get the
Me
answers
too.
I need, and it's just follow the system here. Everyone has the same opportunity to succeed, just like Michael said a bunch of times. Everyone here, no one is special per se. We're all different and unique, but we all have the same opportunity here, and that's the truth.
That's so true, brother. We all have, you came from doing construction, right? Like you think, you're in construction, you might not like have the brain of what an insurance agent is gonna be able to operate. Like I'm an insurance agent. You asked me to do construction, I'm gonna mess something up, right? But I had to mess up a lot of things here too, and that's what allowed me to like be able to get good and get moving, man. And so love that from construction to insurance, from 2 months in to writing $30,000 in your second month. That's amazing. Let's touch a little bit on what's allowing you to have that success, right? What is it that you would pass on? And dude, and go ahead and like let it all out. What is it that you think it's causing that effect? What are you doing that's letting you have that success?
I'm doing nothing special. I'm following the system to a T. I'm dialing the same time you guys are. I'm making appointments the same time you guys are. I follow the trainings. It's the system is here to succeed. You just look like the big man Brandon. You're just following him. And
Yep.
I mean, if you think you can do better, you can try that if it works out good for you. But I would start out just doing what everyone else is doing. There's nothing special about it. The rebuttals, everything, you'll get that with practice. I mean, you could ask your team for help if it keeps coming the same one up. But other than that, we're just following the system here. That's the nice thing about everything.
You mean to tell me like your upline like didn't grab you by the hand and wasn't with you on like the first time you dialed and like didn't walk you through the steps that you had to take on how to fill out the application? That didn't happen?
I didn't need that because I had a little bit of experience. I was confident with the application process. And then that's the beautiful thing about here is the toolkit. It does most of the work for you. It's I mean, unless you mess that up, you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So that's what I wanted to get to. Like, you don't need it and nobody else needs it. It's just about doing. You're gonna learn by doing. You gotta fall a couple of times when you're on the bike. I just taught my son how to ride the bike for his first time this past weekend, dude. I'm so proud of him. He's doing it. He's doing great. He hasn't fallen yet, and I can't wait for that fall to happen because
Yep.
that's gonna mean he has to get back up and keep doing it, right? And so one of the other things that I really love about what you're doing is that you haven't been shy to voice yourself and to even offer help to anyone asking questions, right? And you're communicating on the WhatsApp. Like I know who you are, not just because of the numbers that you're putting up, not because we're all in the same like circle and team, but because you actually voice yourself, brother. If I didn't see you being so active on the WhatsApp group, if I didn't see you be on the Zoom room like you are often, then I wouldn't know Quinton, right? So, do you think that's brought you some additional help just being able to be that present? Like, would you recommend something along those lines for all new people starting?
Oh, definitely participate in the WhatsApps. Definitely get on the Zooms. The main thing that helped me in the beginning is usually I was pretty good with scheduling the appointments. That wasn't an issue for me, but watching people like Brad, we just watched in the other training. It was amazing to watch him, just like getting his flow. Because I feel like in the beginning I was maybe pausing too much and it was dragging on. It was just leaving awkward periods of silence, which made the people, it gives people time to think, do I want this? Do I not want this? They start second guessing themselves. So the ability to watch Brad go through that and just see how he flows, like here, this is how this is going to work. This is the product. Do you want it? Here's the application. Boom, boom, boom. It's just step by step. Yeah, some people tell you no and reject it, and then you just if they don't want it, they don't find the value, just move on to the next person.
That's right, man. By the way, Brad, you killed it in that training. If your video's on right now, give him a little golf clap real quick, because Brad, man, good job in that training, my brother. I was awesome. And another cheap plug. He's gonna fill in tomorrow for Mike, so you guys get ready because I'm gonna drill Brad, and we're gonna go over all this stuff too, and we're gonna get some more content and to just be able to help everybody.
Nice.
Tell me a little bit about what you do for your lead flow. How do you like to schedule that?
So I started out just to help everyone starting new. I started with D's for practice. Don't jump into A's, get what you're comfortable with. But once you feel like your closing's down, I immediately got I had a couple good D sales. So I felt like I was comfortable to risk a few A's. And then from there, I really was buying five at a time, selling them, buying five more. Now, if the opportunity comes, I'm buying about 15 a day and supplementing with about that many A1s or bonus leads because my goal was 12 to 15 minimum appointments a day.
I
So
love that. So
that's
you
really
said you're
just the
buying
goal, just repeating it over and over again.
you're buying about 15 A's a day and then 15 A1s a day.
Depending, yeah, but that's my average at least every 2 days, depending how many people I book. Sometimes I have a lot that flow over the next day, so I don't really need as many the next day.
That shows me two things, brother. It shows me commitment and it shows me dedication, right? Because like you don't buy leads if you're not gonna call the leads. That's just dumb. If you're gonna do that, go do something else, right? Because you buy the leads, you call the leads for
Oh yeah, you
people
can never
saying
do that. I'm just when I see a stack of leads, I mean, it's just printer paper, but to me, I mean, this is money. So if you just buy it and sit it there, you're just throwing that money away. You might as well just print these out and throw them in the fire if you're gonna sit them there for a week, especially
yeah,
on A's.
especially an ace, right? But the fact that you're still so new, but you're ready to like dive right into the pool and say, I'm gonna buy 15 ace and I'm gonna buy some additional bonus leads every time that I'm ready to dial and every time I'm gonna run, that just shows a level of commitment, man. Like that in itself, it's gonna show that you're willing to invest into yourself because you know that there's going to be results. And I love that. Like that itself explains, like so much of this conversation explains your success, right? You're not just having this because you came in just being so good. You're having so much success because you're following exactly the steps, step by step, no different than anybody else, right? Your background, nothing to do with insurance. Coming in, learning, listening, following, and investing in yourself. And if you don't have the money to invest in yourself and dive right into the A's, that's okay. Buy those D's. Dude, there is gold in D leads. One of the first interviews that I did, guys, was with Paige. Go ahead and look that up because me and Paige talked about her working those leads. And she's like, I needed to, but there's there. It's there. It's no different than a C or a B lead. You're going to go into it exactly with the same mindset and you're going to schedule those appointments and you're going to find some of that gold. Clearly, the commission that we're going to be able to get from one policy is going to outweigh the cost of a D lead by 1,000 times, right? And you'll be able to find a dollar 50. Come on, $1.50. It's just amazing, man. What are you excited for? Are you already looking into building? Is that something that you're considering doing yet, or where are you at with that?
So I got on the recruiting list in December. I wanted to make sure I was confident in sales because I felt like I couldn't lead anyone without the ability to do it myself. And
Mhm.
then once I felt like week by week I was pretty successful, I always got my return on income. That's when I felt comfortable recruiting. So I've been recently on there looking for people. I have one person, well, I'm waiting for them to pass the test, but so I'm just trying.
That's great, dude. But look, that's all it takes, right? You take that little pebble and you let it roll, and next thing you know, it's gonna build into something big, and it takes you starting. So the fact that you 2 months in are saying, "Hey, I'm ready to do this," like that's great. Chris and I had a conversation similar to this 4 months back, right? When I first went to the conference, and I got to see how we do things here. And it's different here. It's Quinton, you just said it. It's different from your previous IMO. It's different from my two previous IMOs. I've jumped around a little bit and I got to see we do things differently. We protect the business. We look for high placement. We make sure that the risk of having roll up debt is truly minimized, which gives you a comfort level in being able to build because you know it's going to be done the right way and it's going to allow you to grow. But dude, I'm excited for you because you can honestly already in such a short time pass on so much greatness, so much knowledge to any new agent coming in. So I'm stoked to be able to have you here.
That's the beautiful thing here. Everyone here to help you because I've reached out to Grayson and Mike and everyone above me because I've seen the success and I was like, what do your A leads, B leads, etc. look like? And they told me. So I knew in my head if my goal was to be anywhere near them, it had to be somewhat replicatable to what they had. You can't, I'm not going to go do something entirely different if I wanted their success.
Yes, man. And it's the same thing for everyone, right? Like I'm not gonna do anything different, but you're not gonna do anything different that what Brad's doing, that what Mike's doing, that what Maria's doing, that like all of Ken, all of our top producers here are doing, Miranda, everyone, right? Like that's just killing it. They're all doing the same thing. You want to mess it up? Do something different. Right? If you're watching this right now, if you want to mess it up, we'll tell you right now. Do something different, and I promise you, it's not gonna work. And how do I know? Because I came in here saying I'm ready to rock and roll. I think Brad just said it in the last training, right? We came in here with this expectation, like, hey, I've sold $400,000 of insurance before. I'm gonna kill it, and then you get a little bit of like a humbling experience because you're learning something new. You're learning telesales, dude. I'm back in my stride. I love it. I'm selling. I'm focused on growing more than anything. But it takes you humbling yourself to say, I am here to be a student and to learn and to truly just take it in little bit by little. Did you find did you find any training in particular that jumps at you that you were like, hey, if I was a new agent, like you should definitely watch this one?
For me, it was because I had a little bit of experience, so I was a little more comfortable, but it was all like a bunch of small things. Like, for instance, the one thing that helped me was what I was doing in the beginning, kind of shoot myself in the foot. Brandon one day was like, when you give them the options, if they haven't said no or anything yet, just wait. Because if you talk first and say, hey, I got a lower number, this or that, you just created a whole problem for yourself. So that there was just little things like that over and over again. Like I said, watching Brad, keeping it flowing, not shooting myself in the foot when I give him the options and being so worried like, oh, I want to get the sale, I want to get the sale so bad. So you mess up and just keep it simple. It just follow what everyone else is doing, go through the order, go through the steps. It's keep it simple. That is the KISS solution is literally how this place works.
Keep it simple, stupid, or
Yeah.
stupid simple, right? I love that. That's amazing, and it's so cool that we do have Brandon to pass down the same thing that we're all saying, man. If you wanted to help somebody just really propel, is there any advice that you would say like this is maybe something I messed up on personally that I wish I would have done a little bit differently from the get-go, or not so much?
I think it really comes down to believing in yourself. I think one of the
Yes.
biggest fears here is like I'm about to spend $500 on leads. Oh no, or whatever you have, or if you get on a standing lead order, you might be like, oh no, am I going to get this money back? Don't be afraid. If you've seen that you've had this success, that's why I said work up on the D's. Once you see that success, it's going to replicate yourself over and over and over again. And it works every single time. So just have confidence in yourself because you are building a business. Yeah, we work together as a team, but it's all about you in the end.
Totally, bro. One thing that helps you too is the fact that you can speak well, right? So anybody, and here's what's cool about being on the phone. You can be legally anybody that you want to be, right? So if you want to sound a little bit deeper when you talk, go for it. If you want to be a little bit faster when you talk, go for it, right? But if you want to, I don't know if I can be Brad. Brad's unique, man. The way that Brad spaces and paces, that works for Brad and it works so good. I couldn't do it. My energy is just way too high. Be yourself, sound articulate when you speak, present it properly, stick to the sauce, stick to the recipe, and we're gonna be able to find success for everyone. What else you got for me, Quentin? Anything else before we wrap this up?
I think you saying being authentic is an important thing on the call. Don't you just go in there, be yourself, be honest, tell them how the product works, be yourself. I mean, you slow it down for older people, obviously, just so they can understand you, but I'm never any different from this person to this person to this person. I do everything the same each time. So just go in there and be your authentic self, be confident in yourself, and it'll work out for you. There's nothing to do.
Yeah, man, 100%. Just while we're wrapping it up, guys, if there's anything that you guys want to see me ask Quentin here, go ahead and just drop it. Um, I'd be would be happy to ask it right now and approach it. But there's one thing that Michael Warren brought up in the last recording we were doing that just stuck with me, and like I've been thinking about it literally for the last week, right? I'm just like, this just makes so much sense. Mike said that his wife told him he sounded a little too salesy, right? Megan told him, hey, we got to fix this and you need to just make it more as part of the process. Like, hey, you just bought a house. You buy a car, you buy insurance. You get a new cell phone, you insure it. You buy a diamond ring for your fiance, sometimes you insure it. This is the same thing. This is just the next step on your responsibility is you just bought a house. You just refinanced the mortgage and because of that, this is available. So all I'm doing is just passing on what's available for you. Whether you want it or not, that's your decision. My job is to inform you. Here's your two options. Which one sounds better? Perfect. Let's go from there. But
Hearing you
yeah,
say that actually, that's one of the actually I forgot to say that. That's the one thing I've always took away from Mike in the beginning. It'll help you not get chargebacks. You deliver the product, you be honest and truthful. If they don't see the value in it, yeah, you can maybe give them a couple suggestions like, if something happens, what about your kids, this and that. You can make them see the value. But if they truly don't see the value, they're either not going to keep it or you're just going to waste your time on the phone for the next 30 minutes. So you're just literally looking for the ones who understand what it's there for and what it does for them. And that's about it. That's so if they see the value in the product, they're going to be like, okay, this is going to keep my family safe, me safe. I see the living benefits of the final expense. I'm going to pass it down. If they don't see the value after explaining it, that there's nothing more you can do there. So that's where the like Mike said, don't be that salesman. You're there to offer them the product to protect their family. And if they don't see that value, just move on to the next person.
next, man, that's so well said. It's so true. I don't hate anyone. I don't like using the H word, but man, do I hate chargebacks, right? They bother me. I've been doing this for so long too, and I still just get bothered by a chargeback. So guys, do that and make sure you don't force a policy down anyone because at the end of the day, chargebacks suck. No matter what, you can look at it as a free loan, sure. We got to pay it back, so they're not good. So just to wrap up here, last question is going to come in from from Chad, and Chad saying, "What did you do, Q, to get your AP up from when you first started?"
So what I was doing in the beginning, I was real afraid of them. That's where that confidence in yourself comes in. I was giving them very low options because I thought it would help me make a sale, but ultimately it's harder to cover your lead costs that way. So what I ultimately did is you have to see the value in the product. That you get them full covered or half covered, and that's why I just kept the leads. I kept it around $80 like everyone else does. I gave them a better one for more protection, and I usually keep it to about two. And then I have a higher number if they really want to just get like overly protected, but usually most people stop at the second one. And then I have a few of the bigger sales where they're like, yeah, give me that third one. I want the max. You have a few of those that'll come in every once in a while, but just don't sell yourself short. Believe in yourself. Like this is the product. It has value. I have life insurance myself. I had it before I came in the company. So there's like, if they don't see the value in protecting their family, I'm in the long term. I got this for my kids to have when I'm gone. It's not for me. So that's all you really got. You give them the value. They don't see in it. That's it. Move on. Don't sell yourself short and be like, here's a $20 policy. Because what I learned in those cheap policies, those are the ones that don't stick, surprisingly. The ones that are 20, 30, $40, a month or two later, they don't even want to pay it anymore. Either they don't have the money or they didn't see the value in it. So just that's you just have to have the confidence in yourself and the product.
It's so funny that you say that because I do remember you having like smaller policies. So I was like, hey man, he's writing. They're smaller policies. And then boom, you 2 weeks later, all of them are around the target range of closer to 1,000. And that's the target range for a reason. Because if you offer low, they're gonna buy low. But if your lowest is a high number, they're gonna pick from your three options, right? If your option is 20, 30, 40, they're going to pick 20, 30, 40. If your option is 70, 90, 120, they're going to pick out of those three options. So, guys, don't cut yourself short. Feel that confidence, get up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I got this. Say, I'm going to sell some policies. I'm going to protect some families. I believe in myself and bring that on to your calls. Bring that conviction on to your voice, man. I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm so, so proud of you. Like, I wish I would have gotten I had a hot start, but you're in a hot start and I want you to keep that going. So, one thing that I can tell you to keep that going is don't change anything. All right, whatever
I'm
you're
not.
doing now, just don't change it, man. Don't let anything come into like your little ear or somebody else saying, "Hey, man, you should maybe do this." It's working for you. If it's not Brandon or Mike Warren's telling you, or Chris Fodor or Grayson, don't listen to me. Listen to only those people and go ahead, man, and just keep on rocking and keep doing what you're doing. Team, thank you all so much for being here, man. We appreciate it. It's awesome. We got 34 people present right here, right now. Let's do it. Let's make it a challenge, right? Let's keep growing this thing. Let's make sure that by next month, right? What is it? January 9th. Let's go February 15th. Let's make it a goal of at least. What do you think, Chris? Photo. What do you want to see? 60? You think that's a good number? You think 50 is a good number? Chris is gonna say 100, isn't he? He's gonna come in and say
Yeah,
100.
100 sounds real good.
Let's give it a good challenge, guys. By this time next month, let's have at least consistently 50 and be able to maybe go up every single month because we literally have the best team in the whole company. I wholeheartedly mean that. Everyone in here is strong and we're helping each other grow. So let's focus on that. Let's sell, let's help families, and let's grow this baby. I appreciate you all. See you all later. URS training is tomorrow. Look out for the podcast to drop with Brad filling in for Mike. I'm Luis. Chris, you want to wrap up with anything?
No, man, thanks for hosting, Luis. Love having you as part of the team. Your energy is contagious. So, Grayson, you want to close us out with anything?
No, that was great. We'll leave this room open and we'll see you guys in this room while you're dialing and in your appointments. Feel free to stay in here all day. And then again, I think it opens up around 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we're all just kind of in it together. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute in the Zoom room or just put a post in the WhatsApp group and we're here to help. So
That
thank
was
you.
a great point, Grayson. I had a question earlier today during dial time, and thank you for asking. I wouldn't even say who asked, just know somebody asked a question during dial time, and thank you again for asking. And we want you to ask those questions. We don't want you to hold any questions in. Just know that dial time. I gotta get my appointments up too, you know. So I'm gonna focus on dialing. But during those Zoom rooms when we're in between appointments, right now, you don't want to drop some questions. Do that now. It's the right time. But I promise you, as long as you communicate, you will get your questions answered.
Thank you guys.